evening, mares and stallions, and welcome to a whinnying edition of Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG. Hi, my name is Philip, and I am the Dreadmaster, and with me are many of our wonderful players. Say good evening. Actually, I'm going to walk that back. Say good evening, players.
Good evening.
Because he's a horse keeper. Get it?
I get it. I will not be doing
That's
that.
fine. Ooh.
There's still time. You can still do it.
Welcome to, this is a special episode, and this is almost misleading, this screen that we have here, because, we have some just wonderful, gifted, lovely, talented actors in this game, and we're going to kick them out when we actually get started, but we just wanted everyone to get to say hello, because tonight's session, based on the madness that occurred last time, is a solo session for one average plantain. You see, while Penny and Bradley wound up in a certain situation after the incursion from the Timber out of space, Everett was not seen, and in fact he was not, no one knew where he was in those hours preceding, so we're going to fill those in. Does he survive his time? Does he make it back? These are questions that we will answer now, and it'll just be me and the Z-Man. Will there be swords? Will there be strees? Who knows what there'll be? I was remarking how, we nearly, I think there was just something about the scheduling of it didn't work, because I was going to do solos for all of you in Merkshire, and then Lauren's actually wound up not timing out because of, we wound up not doing Sarah Quill until well after we left Merkshire. Oh. And then we were going to do one for Conrad, and that also just, I think it was going to be a week when you weren't there, or the week was, so the point being, it's funny that, though Conrad was the logical person to do a solo session about you with, we're now back to the same accent. Or, not the same accent, but a cousin accent.
Definitely related.
Liv, it looked like you were about to say something. It looked like you had a huge revelation.
I had many thoughts.
Uh-oh.
Some dirty, some not.
Well, share
Mostly
only
I
the
was
dirty ones, please.
Oh, well, when you said there might be swords, I was like, yeah, because you've got your mason jars ready.
Oh, I see, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That is a reference to a conversation earlier, folks.
Mason jars full of semen is what the joke is.
Yes! That's the punchline there. Yeah. And then also I was like, what if you took branches from the trees and made swords out of them?
That's also true. That is a much less dirty idea. Unless you... Well,
his trees are tiny, so he'd have to make little toothpick swords.
Little swords.
Cocktail swords.
Hey, how about we open...
Don't shame men about the size of their swords.
Yeah,
or their trees.
Or their trees.
How about we open one of these?
The movement and the taper.
Let's do 15.
Yeah.
Should we do 15,
And the base.
everybody? Let's just do 15 and ignore talking about swords.
Do it.
Oh, look, it's another one of those Arctic foxes.
Aww.
I'm gonna roll this D6 and see what I get. I got a 5. You know what? I call that good, but not great. You have to get a 6 for it to be great. That was a 3. Things have devolved. Yeah. So this is gonna be a fun session tonight. I'm probably padding out the opening a little because who would want who wants Lauren and Liv to leave? Well, Zane apparently. He was like, do not let them be here tonight. I was like, okay, well they're really excited to and he's like he actually said, make sure they can't look me in the eye, and I said it'll be a Zoom that's physically impossible.
They
No
better
girls
not
allowed.
be live right now.
Yeah, everybody thinks I'm the diva. I'm not.
It's this guy.
Zane.
She's not.
No.
She's not. It's me, and then it's Zane.
I feel like I'm the only diva here.
You know what? Yeah.
Very particular. I'm either a diva or...
Really, Dan. We all know it's Dan.
God, Dan is a Dan. I don't know. Is Dan a diva? I don't think he does diva.
Well, I feel like we all are in our
He's
own
the only one who's not
way.
here. We can talk shit
That's
about
fair.
him, and nothing happens.
Oh my God, Dan! What a diva. Diva, more like Denva. I think what I would like to do, if this is cool, is I'll go through our recap of what happened previously. I would also love for Lauren and Liv to stick around to hear the invocation for tonight, which is special.
Mm.
And then, and then we can get into it. So, first thing I'll say.
And then Lauren and I will go be friends.
I mean, which stream is that happening on?
Be there in 2 hours.
The dread clock, it sits at 7. We're halfway there. Make sure you have your D13 handy because it will be rolled. In our last episode, after Penny's success summoning a character, so the first of sort of the new batch, Gremlins 2, the new batch, Penny was able to summon a character. She was able to summon old McAllister, the lighthouse keeper from the Timbre out of space. Upon bringing him to the house, things got a little weird. And when she introduced him to Everett and Bradley, things got a little stabby. Everett made some reference to friends, which really set the old man off. Suddenly, old McAllister and Penny attacked Everett and Bradley, wanting to kill them so that they could ascend to enlightenment. But then something truly awesome happened. Somebody rolled a D13, and they rolled a 13 out of 13. And who did it last week? Well, it was Dan, because he's a good boy. And that triggered a horror surge. As rather than rolling on a table, I just went for appropriate, because this is what we were so close to. Interdimensional tentacles from sort of realms beyond, basically sounds taking visible shape, or sort of like odors becoming like tangible touch, reached through reality and began just tearing up the reading room. Bradley and Penny attempted to run, but were unable to do so. Old McAllister, we're actually still not sure what happened to him. You just heard him sort of grunting and screaming in ecstasy or pain, or probably both, Hellraiser. And then Everett was knocked aside, unseen thereafter. Medina did some nonsense, because she always does, because it's always like the show's always got to be about Medina, because Lauren's like, hey, put the camera on me. No, while Medina had an encounter with a boxer, he's just a poor boy that was story seldom told. Let's not worry about it too much. And she fell a little bit in love with the Soldier of Fortune because he sent someone to protect her, which apparently that's the right move.
That's a romance novel trope, too.
Don't know what you're talking about. The point is, we then returned to Penny and Bradley to discover that their brush with the elder things resulted in a merging of their bodies. They are now a 3-legged, 2.5 armed, with one additional arm that is just cupping a boob for all time, 2-headed, kind of 3-lunged kind of blob that have sort of come together into this Cronenberg nightmare, which is torment for basically both of them. Because horror. Wednesday was very excited. She said, "Ghoul, you can't eat this. We're gonna go eat something else." She took the ghoul elsewhere in the good old infirmary. Because what's Darkmoor College if not what's the Darkmoor Infirmary if not a snack buffet for monsters? So with Penny and Bradley sort of scene 2 for now in God knows how that's gonna work. Do they only get to, do they have to, for every roll they make, do they have to, each one of them only rolls 2 dice and then they have to compare across each other? I don't know, maybe. With Medina going off to the quad to hang out with the boxer, we figured that now is the right time to cut back or cut elsewhere to see what has become of Everett Plantain. So with that recap in mind, Everett Plantain, who all he wants is to finally find this character from this romance novel he's been reading. This, and I think I actually have the, I'm trying to remember what the name of that book is. It's called Swamps of Desire. Yeah. So, finally to reach Gizjubo, the Darcy-esque Ichthyocentaur. that is where we leave Everett, as he is wanting to do that, and instead tentacles of horror reach through a room, bat him aside. A crazed lighthouse keeper trying to kill him. Who knows what happens next? With all that in mind, let us read the invocation for Chapter 102 of Blood from a Stone, A Tale of Love and Dread in RPG.
Oh, no.
Gizjuyubvo grabbed Mshlorpglorp by the head tendrils and spun him around with a strength and fury that both thrilled and terrified the fish head all at once. He could feel one of the ichthyocentaur's strong, rigid horse legs bending forward against the small of his back before the hoof came to rest on his left leg flipper, pinning him in place, powerless to escape. Gizjuyubvo's bizarre human mouth, the sounds from it so muffled and strange underwater, whispered right into Mshlorpglorp's otolithic ear sac. You are nothing but bait, and it's time to put you on my hook.
Good night, everyone!
So, with that... with that, we'll say goodbye to Liv and Lauren. Thanks for being here.
We're living out our best middle school fantasy of indulging in some male/fiction, man.
Oh, it really is, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they're just fish too, so it's got that. Well, fish, horse, man, one of them, but you get the idea.
It's the best kind, man.
Yeah, very.
All
good.
right.
Well,
you boys have fun. Behave yourselves.
Wow.
Get out of here.
bye, everybody. All right. Ooh, it almost went perfect as we cut down to 2, but not quite. I have to size this up slightly. So, Everett, with that in mind, you lose consciousness for what you think is a moment or two before a rather unpleasant, sort of grinding, wailing sound in the distance brings you back to consciousness. You feel that your face is pressed against rough, but, or should I say sort of jagged but still smooth stone. So you're on some sort of rocky face. It seems naturally formed, kind of, but it is sort of cleaved into more geometric shapes, each of which is rather sort of smooth. As you sort of flutter your eyes open, the ground that you're on has a dark blue color. It's slightly wet, and there's a sort of rumbling thunder in the distance, but you do hear this sort of screaming, grinding, keening, just this horrible sound that's coming from somewhere ahead or to the side of you.
Hello? Hello?
You call out into the darkness, but you don't really hear a reply. And as you sort of look around your immediate vicinity, it's dark, but you don't see anyone else nearby.
And just to be clear, this is a completely different setting than he was.
Oh yes, you appear
Yeah.
as. We'll tell you what. Make a look roll as you sort of stand and figure out what's going on. Terrible at those.
Ooh. 2 ones.
2 ones. Ooh, 1's good as well, because that's sort of about just structure, order, almost identity of the place that you're in. As you look around, you appear to be outside. Or if you're inside, you're in a massive cave. Above you, there is sort of dark, roiling, cloudy shapes, and you see periodic pops of flashing light. Perhaps it's lightning or maybe something else. Your body feels very sort of pained and ragged. You also, with that thing, the last thing you see is probably something that would be important to you despite the bizarre nature of where you now find yourself. A notebook and a book are about 5 feet from you on the stone, kind of flipped open. It is your own notebook of your notes. about Swamps of Desire, as well as that tome itself. They're sitting there.
He goes over to see if there's anything he can discover from that book and how he got here.
Understood. The book the notebook is actually a little torn. It looks like it was like thrown from you and kind of caught on a rock. It's not destroyed or anything. Both books are slightly wet, but still perfectly readable and legible. Nothing has sort of damaged them overly yet. But as to how you got here, as your sort of mind clears, you definitely remember tentacles and weird stuff, and you remember being sort of struck by something.
Oh my God, what has happened to me here? And he looks at the last words that he wrote in the notebook.
It probably would have been something about, I mean, what do you think he was most fixated on with the character he calls Jizz?
His abs.
And it would have been, honestly, Everett, I will leave it up to you. It could be a description of the abs, it could be a drawing of the abs, or it could be both.
It's a drawing of the abs with some little notes about them, and which one is the favorite. It's the middle ones is Everett's favorite.
The middle abs.
Yeah, the middle abs.
Like going from up and down, it's the more central abs. You're not into the high ab. You're not into the low ab. You like that.
Yeah, you just got to find the one that's just right. You know what I mean?
Everett, 100%. I will say, however, I don't think I'd even make you roll yeah, I think that you have a pretty strong sense just from like, you got hit hard, or clearly something has happened, but you do not believe that there's anything missing. You remember you were in the midst of midst of writing those notes right when Penny brought in that strange old man lighthouse keeper, who moments thereafter tried to stab you, and now you're here.
I'm wondering, Everett, knowing that there's weird stuff that happens at the university, is there any chance that has any awareness that he's been pulled in to one of the books, and could it have been one of the books that he was reading? Well, the book that he was reading.
Let's make a D13 roll.
Yeah, baby. 5.
Though all staff members of Darkmoor College are instructed in certain kind of like what if magical horror scenarios, not so much for their safety, more just for smooth operation of the facilities, Everett didn't attend all of those meetings. So he doesn't have the sort of vocabulary of like, okay, telltale signs that I've been pulled into, X or Y or this kind of stuff. So sadly, you don't have that. That being said, I would love for you, because you're actually pretty good at this in a couple of ways, I'm going to have you make a navigate roll, and I'm going to let you add your geography to it. So you have 4 total dice.
Thank you for letting me know so I didn't have to find the thing. Nothing.
Nothing. Everett, you're looking around. Clearly this place seems strange, but there are weird places outside the school grounds. You have no frame of reference for, your I would say even what numbers did you actually get on that?
8. Crap, I moved them, but I think it was 8154, but I could have been.
We'll go with 8154 and say, yeah, you don't have had you had a geometry on there, I might have given you like a half success on it, but I'll say that you are not, you just don't know. For all you know, you're in just a really weird part of campus. You suspect that's not the case, but you're just not sure. But as you sort of collect, I assume you're picking up the books and notebooks.
Picking up the items, yeah.
As you sort of collect those, you hear this kind of just grinding, horrifying scream in the distance again. This kind of sound. It's very unsettling.
Whatever you did, we heard nothing of it.
I was trying to do it very quietly. I
but
think
that's even scarier, just seeing your mouth doing that.
How's that? Anything? Nothing? You got nothing. Okay.
Well, every once in a while there was like a.
That's the vibe. It's pretty sort of high pitched, but yeah. I think
you guys heard it?
Yeah. See, they hear it because they don't have the Zoom. They're just getting everything coming into this microphone.
Well, I look forward to. You know what? I like my imagination.
I'm sure it's worse. But you can sort of hear that in the distance, probably off kind of to the side of you.
How far away does it sound?
Ooh. Without rolling, you suspect it would be. It's either very loud and like 100 or 200 feet away, or it's not absurdly loud and maybe more like 50 feet away, but you can't really see anything in that direction, so you're probably assuming it's more the latter.
Well, not knowing where. Well, can I do like a? I don't know what type of check it would be, just like in terms of danger.
Ooh, sure. I think that would be. I don't know if it's Everett's thing, but I think that is always detect vibe. Spidey sense is detect vibe.
Let's check. All right.
It's a vibe check.
2 and a 4, nothing. You know, he looks in the opposite direction of that sound to determine whether or not he's going to go toward it or away from it. So I was wondering what's in the opposite direction.
As you hear that horrifying sound, you're looking at the exact opposite direction. I love it. Please make a look roll.
Nothing.
All you can tell is that the opposite direction of this is flat, whereas that direction seems to be a mild sort of incline, or the ground is less even. The ground is more even away from that sound.
Well, knowing that he has no idea where he is, and that's the only thing that seems remotely alive here, he's going to quietly climb up that incline to see if he can get a better look.
Excellent. I love it. Please give me a sneak roll. I'm sorry, we're just throwing the hardest at you. I'm so sorry, Everett.
Oh, well, I love the hardest. You throw whatever you want at me. All right, where's my sneak?
Your sneak is only two study.
Oh, I see. There it is. Well, I didn't get anything.
What numbers did you get?
5 and a 4.
Yeah, okay, you didn't get anything. So as Everett, as you sort of like, you begin to climb up this, you're sort of trying to be sort of quiet, but you find that as you like take just steps and even like move your hands, the ground here does have this very unpleasant sort of sticky wetness. It's like, it doesn't feel humid around you, but the ground feels like it's almost sweating. And as you sort of get higher, you feel yourself sort of slipping around, and like almost like your footsteps are squeaking as you get higher. Once you've climbed about sort of like gone up an incline a fair bit, so you can see a little further, you notice that there's kind of a more irregularly shaped area ahead. There are almost some peaks of this strange sort of rocky, almost glass-like ground. You can also see more intense clouds just roiling in the distance, lit up more intensely by whether it's lightning or lights within them. But standing about 70 feet further from like where you get up after you sort of climbed up to sort of see, there seems to be a figure about 70 feet away. They're wearing this kind of light blue, if not white, sort of singular garment. Their arms are very long. Their arms extend all the way from their shoulders to the ground. So like very, very sort of long, and even the fingers seem elongated. The hair is stringy and small, and there's kind of these strange cranial ridges on it. But as you've sort of made some squeaking noise kind of getting up there, you just very unfortunately like kind of squeak and kind of as you're sort of getting into place up at the top, this thing turns to you, and its face is it looks human, but the features are all very exaggerated. Sort of the mouth goes all the way to the sides. The eyes take up almost the entire top half of the face. The nose is kind of like sort of like bent backwards a couple of times across itself, and the nostrils sort of flaring up.
Oh my god. What the fuck is that?
And as it has heard you make this noise, it kind of snaps back and then opens this massive mouth, its head almost like leaning back as the mouth, tilts like Pac-Man levels, and it just emits that horrible sound that you heard earlier.
Do it again.
And it's pointing at you with this arm that's like 6 feet long, and just kind of this like finger that's sort of pointing.
Everett, is it I guess there's a quick judgment call. Does it look dangerous and menacing? I mean, I'm clearly to me as Zane, it sounds like it.
It seems deeply bizarre and inhuman, and yes, it is now pointing at you and making this noise. This
Everett,
keening sound.
He looks around and sees if there's like a place that he can get that looks safer than where he is, that's away from that thing.
As you're sort of up here, I mean, you could just sort of slide down, but you're not sure if this thing's kind of running for you. However, once you're up here, you do see in the distance, this is like kind of like quarter mile, if not half a mile away, you see what looks like a building. Like further away. Some sort of house, some sort of structure is off in that direction.
Past him, or off in a different direction?
Kind of parallel to him, If this creature is 70 feet straight ahead of you, this would be like, 45, 50 degrees kind of in the distance, but a good distance from you. Much further.
Everett backs down just out of eyesight of this thing and tries to be as quiet as possible.
Okay.
And would like to find the safest route to that little building.
I'm going to say, Everett, once again, you can use your navigation and your geography to give you 4, because those are sort of, I think, now that you were up there and you sort of looked around and saw it, you can maybe understand, if I go this way, will I be able to get back up this way?
I got a pair of 4s.
Pair of 4s. 4s is music. So harmony, kind of like getting into the rhythm of the move. I think this is great for you, Everett. So Everett, you do manage to sort of like slide back down a little bit, and you start kind of moving in that direction. You understand roughly how far it is. You know that maybe if you like overshot it a bit and went this, or kind of, you'll just look for something in the terrain, because the ground still seems to generally move up in that direction. Once you've sort of gotten down though, and gone a bit a ways, 50, 100 feet kind of down there as you're sort of trying to move, you hear the screaming again closer, and you look up, and back behind you, that thing is now standing exactly where you were. Like where you had been looking, that thing is there in its sort of strange light blue garment, and its arms are sort of just like stretched out straight forward, not in your direction, almost like out into the sort of flatter fields beyond, and it is just making that kind of strange sound.
Oh my god, that is totally twisted. I've got to get to this. I got to get to shelter. This is too much.
It does seem like too much.
Says to himself.
Everett, I would love for you to now make an endurance roll. Let's see how well, as you sort of, this is hard going. Your feet are slipping.
There are no matches.
Then I'll tell you what. Let's just make a luck roll. Come on, give me a D13. You can just think cool.
Yeah, baby.
Give me some.
Yeah, baby.
Good.
It's a 3.
A 3. So not great luck. So Everett, you are trying to sort of make your way. You're going, and you almost feel like after you've like walked a little bit, you sort of look back and feel like you're like, I just walked for a minute and went 10 feet. And you're like, you'll take like a step, and you're like, it's like you feel your foot like sliding back, and you're beginning to wonder if time and space work right here. You're beginning to wonder if this is like a purely, you have good geographical sense, but it seems like you're having to work harder to go shorter and shorter distances. In addition, that scream is suddenly right behind you. And as you turn back, that thing is now only like 5 feet away, and it's just looking at you, its mouth kind of hanging open, screaming for a moment, and then silent.
Everett goes right back at it.
I love it. All right, Everett.
He tries to mimic the sound as much as possible.
I'm going to let you. This is probably, this may be insulting to this creature by many means, but I'm going to let you do animal handling on this as you try to intimidate this thing, because you are basically sort of you're sort of like this is how you might handle like a bear or something. Try to make yourself big. So you can do an animal handling. I'm going to let you get 1 extra die on this. Because you do still have your whip, and I don't know if you're not even whether you're brandishing it or just kind of like the sort of general.
He was thinking about it, but
we'll say that you're sort of screaming, and the whip can even be in hand or visible, but it is a magical thing. So go ahead and give me. So you got 6 on this.
I got a pair of 8s.
A pair of 8s. Ooh, a pair of 8s. That is sort of philosophy. Questioning secrets and knowledge. Yeah, I would say. As you sort of make that noise, it sort of just pauses. It sort of stares at you for a moment. Then kind of like its arms sort of like go behind it as it begins like walking back from you. Its arms almost like moving like tails or something but it's walking away from you. Its eyes just open.
Everett backs away with the same, like just trying to kind of mimic the movement
some
in
space,
a way, but
you get some space between you and it for sure. And then you hear this like just crack of lightning and roll of thunder, and everything sort of flashes, and that's behind you. And as you sort of spin around, you see that there is a tremendous castle about 200 feet away from you, up on a further sort of raise than you believe this is the building, the structure you saw in the distance. A sort of castle of black stone, crenellations and sort of spires on it, and the lightning is flashing behind it, sort of framing it in this strange dark place for a moment.
Everett cracks his whip and points at the sky like he made the lightning thunder sound, and starts backing away toward the thing with, like he's handling a horse that hasn't been broken.
This thing seems to be sort of moving away from you now. It's not following you anymore. And if you begin backing sort of up the hill again, you putting your hands on these stones, and they're sort of slimy and sort of thick and difficult, but you can back up and up, and eventually you do see this castle. It's kind of now, 150 feet away from you.
He approaches the castle or he looks to see what the best way in
There
would
is
be.
not a good path up to it, but if you can sort of climb a little bit more, you will eventually reach some sort of stairs that almost appear to be more a part of the castle than something that we built. And in fact, give me, no, it's not your forte, but give me an analyze roll just for the hell of it. It's only 2 dice for you.
Pair of 5s, baby.
Pair of 5s. Ooh, and 5s is arithmetic as well, so it's kind of like the formulae and kind of like the elements of things. You do feel like this castle is not part of this landscape. This castle is resting here, as if once you climb high enough, you are stepping onto ground that was part of the castle, as if this castle was just dropped on top of this strange crystalline landscape.
Nevertheless, he continues to approach. God, there's a goddamn castle in the middle of this slimy ass place.
Hold on, I have to write that down. In the middle of this slimy ass place. Yep, that is what Everett would say. So, as you sort of walk up to these steps, it is difficult to get to them. You're having to do it, but even based on your natural endurance, I'll say that even though it might take you some time, you are able to sort of get up there. Although, you know what? Let's just, in terms of time, give me a climb. You're very good at those. You have 4 dice on all your physicality.
Nothing.
Everett, it takes you a while. And in addition, we'll sort of say that, again, your feet squeak kind of on the ground, but once you finally get to the steps, it does seem like things will be easier. However, you notice something that you're not sure whether or not it was there before. But the gates to this castle, there is light emanating from within them. Sort of gentle, warm candlelight flickering. And the gate stands slightly ajar.
Everett kind of quietly approaches the gate and tries to peek in. Hello? Yoo-hoo! Anybody home?
As you sort of get closer to the door, you can sense movement inside, especially as you begin to call out. In fact, as you sort of call out, you hear this. Almost fluttering sound. And then a voice calls out to you in reply. Welcome to my house. Enter freely and of your own will.
Oh, hello. Thank you. I will. And you are?
Come. The door sort of begins to open, and sort of standing before you is a well-dressed gentleman in old-fashioned clothing. Sort of a white blouse. His clothing probably seems to be from the maybe, I think, 1800s or so. He's kind of got like a white shirt with kind of a bit of ruffles, maybe 1700s. Sort of a black suit with a vest, kind of a cape behind him. He's very handsome, very sort of dark and mysterious looking as he's sort of gazing at you.
Oh, hello. I'm Everett Plantain.
Nice. Come.
And you are?
Come. Freely.
Your name's?
My name?
Your name is not Come, is it?
No. I am,
You are?
My name is Harker.
Oh, nice to meet you, Harker. Again, Everett Plantain. This is quite the nice place you have.
Come. Freely, come. He sort of gestures you in through the doors.
Don't mind if I do. Sorry. And he approaches.
This guy, he's tall. He's well built as well. Has very sort of like regal cheekbones, kind of aquiline nose. Intense eyes. He has kind of facial hair as well, kind of like almost like a sort of a goatee, or maybe more like a Van Dyke even. But he sort of, as he sort of looks at you, says, "Yes, it is good to see you, Everett Plantain. It's so long since I've had anyone for dinner. Come."
Well, thank you. I'm actually not quite sure where I am. I was reading a steamy novel and I ended up here, and there was a creature out there that looked like Predator, but it did this to me, and I think I scared it away because I work with horses. And so now I'm here.
You work with horses. Yes, I understand. You were a man of nature.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess you could say that.
With me, come. Go safely through my house and leave something of the happiness you bring. Mr. Plantain, this way, please. This way. Never mind those things without. There is nothing but madness beyond these walls.
Oh. Well, that does track. It was pretty... What was that thing called? Do you know?
I do not believe it has a name in any tongues that you or I would know.
Was it dangerous?
Yes.
Oh, well, how are you going to keep it out of here?
It does not come here. It has not been invited, not like you. You are welcome in my house, please. My ancestral home. Come, come. He sort of leads you deeper into the castle, into sort of these main doors, and now you're in a, the place does not look well kept, but compared to what was outside, it is definitely sheltered. There's a lot of dust. Tapestries coated over in dust, covered in cobwebs, sort of hanging from the walls. This man carries a candelabra, sort of moves you through. So, Mr. Plantain, where are you from?
Well, I work at the local college. I rode in over some plains on my horse, and I got a job working at Darkmoor. You ever heard of Darkmoor?
I have known many dark moors in this world. Lightless swamps and fens, but I do not know if I know the place of which you speak. This way, please.
Okay. As he's in there, he kind of wants to just check his vibe.
Make a read person roll on this gentleman Harker.
That is a...
I think for you it's only 2. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's not good.
Everett is
that makes it a little more fun here. Nope, one was half on. Okay, nothing.
You know what, Everett? I will say this. It's not going to improve things well, but enough time has now passed. Let's give you 1 power back. So you have 7.
I'm going to need that.
This sort of gentleman sort of leads you in. And you
remind me his name again?
He identified himself as Harker.
Harker, that's right. Gonna write that down.
Mr. Plantain, please sit here. And he sort of leads you into like a it's like a grand dining hall, and he sort of starts like moving things off of a table, some of them sort of carefully, but a few things he just kind of just tosses some stuff aside. Please forgive the state of my house. It has been long since there have been visitors.
So, does it just you? Do you not have servants in a castle like this?
I have no servants left. Sit.
Do you, do your dishes talk, or like, did somebody put to spell? Have you ever read Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast. Yes. I know this tale. I have read
kind of feel
this fairy tale.
I feel like Belle right now. A little bit.
I do not recall dishes talking. I read it in French. Perhaps it was different there. Please.
Oh, this was the Disney version. Never mind. But so just you. How long have you been here by yourself?
It is difficult to tell. He kind of walks over to a wall and goes, yes. Yes. This is a rather delightful vintage. He uncorks a bottle and grabs a goblet, pours it in, pours the sort of wine into the goblet. It's thick and red. He smells it. Takes a sip. Spits it just like into the sort of dark on the side. Yes. Delightful. You will love this. He hands you a glass of it.
Why, thank you.
Yes. You are most welcome here in my house, Mr. Plantain.
You do have an odd way of speaking. Not to be rude. I am in your house.
Forgive me. My grasp of... forgive me.
Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. I'm your first visit. This is a wonderful place. You are dressed so well. This wine, he smells it just to test it out first.
Mm-hmm. Make a smell roll. It's under your vitality.
Ooh, 3.
Ooh, 3 dice. Hey, now we're talking, baby.
Nothing, just...
It doesn't smell bad. It hasn't turned vinegar.
He takes a sip of the wine, and this wine is just superb. I thank you so much.
I am glad you enjoy it.
So what do you do for fun?
Fun is something I have been... Your way of dress is different than mine, is it not?
I am so yeah, I was at work.
Yes.
These are just my old shit kickers.
People, is my way of dress, is it strange to your eyes?
It looks as if maybe you're going to a themed party to dress up as an old-fashioned type,
I see. So
debonair, handsome man.
A great deal of time has passed. I see. Yes, I see. Let me see what food we can provide you.
Why don't you just ask the dishes?
I still don't quite understand what you mean, but it has the cadence of humor. So I appreciate the attempt.
This guy's fucking weird.
I will return momentarily. He sort of bows and walks out of the room.
So much. Everett immediately starts just like looking around at anything he can understand to see like where he is and who this guy is.
In this room, I think, I feel bad because Let me see if there's a way to have this somehow be for one of your more, for one of the things that you're sort of more adept at. And the answer is not really. I'll let you do a look roll. You can make it a look roll, if nothing else.
All right. Well, and there ain't nothing there, and that's fine.
Understood. That isn't... It's not unusual in a chamber like this. Everything is old and sort of dusted. The walls, just so many cobwebs. It does seem like this is a old castle that is not in good repair. The tapestries are strange. They are... God, and I think with your... I think also just with like the knowledge areas that you have, I don't think you'd have any like sense of like, ooh, this looks like this time period or this kind of stuff. But you know, like when you were reading stories about like when they were making you read the Ostler's Tale from like the Holdfast cycle, this isn't totally different than that. It's maybe a different part of the world, or maybe a different time, you know, a few hundred years off, or it's still a castle. It still has all the sort of classic castle vibes. A lot of things are gold under like heavy sort of, you know, like patinas and tarnishings. And you can sort of swipe away dust and you see sort of brighter surfaces. He has lit a few more candles in here kind of while he was talking to you. So the room is fairly bright.
Mm.
But after a while, he does sort of return. He's carrying sort of a platter. Ah, my friend, Mr. Plantain. He sets the platter down. I have for you very little food, but hopefully it will be enough for your needs.
I'm pretty low maintenance. I'm sure it'll be fine.
He removes a cloche, and on the platter, there are 2 turnips, which seem to have been, like, roasted very quickly. Like, they're kind of, like, almost, like, blackened on the sides, but in a way that seems sort of pleasant. So these 2 sort of turnips, kind of, they've gotten to a mushy, edible consistency. There's also a loaf of bread and sort of some salt, like on a little pile next to it.
Well, this looks darling. I appreciate you going to all these great lengths to be a hospitable host.
You are my guest. What else could I do, Mr. Plantain?
Well, I mean, you could have just not invited me in, but you chose the opposite, which is a really noble thing to do.
To leave you out there amidst that madness, that would be a very wicked thing to do.
And yes, it would. I agree. I would have done the same thing if I were in your place. These turnips look delicious. One for me, one for you.
I do not eat turnips.
Why do you have them then?
They grow. One of the very few things that does here. And the bread is for you as well. He sort of sits back. His cape sort of flies out behind him, and he sort of sits in a chair, kind of, you know, just like you're at one end of the table, and he's kind of just right next to you, just kind of watching you.
These. Oh. Do you cook often?
No.
Oh, that's right. You don't eat, like, ever?
No, not true. Quite the contrary. I feed often.
Oh, good, because I was concerned I was going to refer you to a psychiatrist or something if you weren't eating, because that can really be a problem. Dysmorphia. People think they look weird, but it's really just all in your head. You look fantastic.
I appreciate you saying so, Mr. Plantain.
So are you like a king or something?
Yes.
Oh.
Count, that is. Or Yes, a count, I believe, is the term.
Oh, like Count Dracula or something? It was a joke. Humor.
You know of Count. How did you say it?
Dracula?
Dracula.
Yeah, Count Dracula. He's like, I want to suck your blood, and all that, and he's like, he eats people's blood, and
he is known to you.
Yeah, like he's in a lot of the book. I love to read fantasy. There's this one that I read. It's called The Count and the Kraken, and it's this love story that should never have occurred, but it's Count Dracula and a kraken, and they try to figure out how to come together and make love, but the kraken's underwater and Count Dracula breathes air, so they had to find a way to get the kraken.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
This Count you speak of does not breathe at all.
Oh, did you read like another? I know he's popular in a lot of different fan fiction. Which one did you read?
This Count Harker gentleman speaking to you looks at the table. Actually, wait. Make a luck roll for me. I'm gonna make you make the roll, then I'll ask you where you want stuff to be. So,
11.
With an 11, Everett, what have you done with your notebook and book? Are they just sitting on the table, or have you like hidden them?
I feel like because I guess they would have just been under his arm, like, yeah, maybe kind of. He probably set them on the table. That would be the only natural.
If he did set them on the table, then the Count's eyes fall on the book. May I?
Oh, are you a romance novel aficionado? And yes, you may.
I know a great deal of romance, certainly.
Oh. And I was thinking we didn't have anything in common.
I do not read it. Mr. Plantain, I live it.
Oh.
What a strange creature. Is this... He sort of points to the picture of Gisjiyubvo. Is this thing, is he like your Count Dracula, as you say?
Oh, I mean, well, he is the protagonist, as was Count Dracula, but they are kind of different because I didn't read much about Count Dracula's abs, but Jizz, as I call him, has a nice six-pack, and I really like the middle ones because the top people are
abs. What means abs?
It's the abdominal muscles. If you are just kind of jacked, like real buff, I mean, like if you're very physically fit, then you can have some pretty strong stomach muscles, but they're to die for. Abs. I wish I had my own abs, but I don't. Do you have abs?
Yes. Mr. Plantain, you are reading of these characters. This is where you are from. These exist as stories.
Oh, these are fantasy novels. I am not from this place, but sometimes I wish I were from this place. But I come from, it's kind of, well, it's entertaining where I'm from, but not as entertaining as these books. But last I remember, I was in a library, and I was reading this book, and some tentacles grabbed me or something. It was real messed up.
Tentacles like of a kraken.
Yes. Like Count Dracula and the Kraken.
No. Why were you reading these books just for your enjoyment?
Oh, there's this crazy professor who thinks if we read the books, they come true and he gets power. It's crazy.
Why have you not read books of Count Dracula, then?
Oh, well, I mean, I read that one, but well, here's the thing. He assigned me this book. It was The Ostler's Tale. I didn't like that one very much. It wasn't very sexy. But then he gave me...
Tale.
Oh, yeah. It was just about like a horse guy. And I am a horse guy, but I felt like that was too close to home. So I wanted to get something that was a little further away from what I do. So I found a horse guy. He's like a horse guy and like a sea guy at the same time.
This book here.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were trying to bring this creature to you. From Voice Professor.
Well, yeah, I mean... Here's the thing. I wasn't even really into bringing the creature alive, but when I started to read about him, I thought that would be cool to have a hero like this in our world. And I thought, you know what? This is too good for me to put down, so I just kept reading, writing notes about it and everything, and here I am. I don't know what happened. I mean, you can read it if you want. Just make sure to give it back. I haven't finished it.
Yes. He sets the book down, stands up with a flourish. He goes to the window, stands there very, contemplatively staring out. There is a flash of lightning. Everett, I'd like you to make a look roll for me. It's a sweet little look roll.
Ooh, pair of sevens.
Pair of sevens. Ooh. I feel like that will be... Oh, yeah. Ooh, patterns. Ooh, vision. Yes, Everett. In the lightning flash, there's this odd moment where sort of the light flashes outside the window. And you notice there is no reflection in the glass.
Is Everett putting two and two together here?
I will say you may draw any conclusions you'd like on his behalf.
Oh my god, this guy's a goddamn vampire in a goddamn vampire castle.
Indeed, I am.
Oh, I said that out loud. I tend to do that. Wait.
Pay it no mind, Mr. Plantain.
Now, okay. Am I gonna get eaten? Just tell me. Tell me straight up.
Perhaps. You see, I am not without meals here, though I suspect you would be a more pleasing one than many others. But you possess what might be a more rare opportunity for me. Escape.
So, meaning we can strike a deal, perhaps?
Yes.
Now, if I agree to this deal, does that mean maybe you won't eat me?
Would you trust the word of a vampire, Mr. Plantain?
Well, it doesn't look like I have any goddamn choice. I'm trapped in a vampire castle, and I know you're super magic, so what am I going to do?
My name is not Harker, Mr. Plantain.
Oh, I thought it wasn't. It sounded weird when you said it.
I used a name in the language I recognize to speaking. I have taken great pains to speak English as well as possible, but I have not yet mastered it.
You are doing wonderfully in speaking English, so you're welcome. So what is your real name? Are you Count Dracula?
At your service.
Oh my god! I'm in goddamn Count Dracula's goddamn castle.
You are.
Is the Kraken real?
I know of no Kraken.
Okay. Okay. This is kind of a dream come true.
You
Nobody's
fetishize me, or my kind.
No, it's more. You are not a fetish to me. You are more of a like a kink. No, not like you're like a hero to me. But like I wish like we could like spend our lives together, but like in kind of a way where you wouldn't eat me. Like I turned you good, and then we like, you know, like I don't know, like I just don't die in the story, and you become a better man. So maybe part of this deal, whatever it is that we have, maybe we could have some type of partnership.
Mr. Plantain, I want to disabuse you of the wrong notions. You will not change me.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to change you. I'm just trying to... Okay. Well, maybe I can help you get fed, because I understand you have to eat people. So,
I
can give you...
require food. As you can see, I am in excellent health. You said so yourself. When I am low on food, I appear ancient, wizened.
Oh, I see. And how old does he look, by the way?
35, 40.
Oh, so when was the last time you ate?
I had a bite when I went to fetch you your food.
Okay. Everything I've read about you lets me know that at least I have a little bit of time.
You may have more than that, but if you wish to have a partnership with me, there are things that I can do. Oaths that I can let you take in exchange for service and protection.
Oh, I've never really been in a club like this. What does this oath entail? I gotta drink blood or something, don't I?
Some.
You're gonna bite me but not turn me into a vampire.
No,
Wait.
I will not bite you.
Okay.
You'd better not bite him, my love. And you sort of... There's this voice coming from behind you.
Oh!
There is this, like, woman. She's wearing this, like, white dress. She has very, like, rosy cheeks. Her hair is all sort of unkempt. It's like she's not even in a dress. It's like a white, like, nightie, basically.
Is she,
like a nightgown.
Is she,
Her lips are just bright red.
Would Everett find her attractive?
I mean, would Everett be into, like the Brides of Dracula?
Absolutely.
Then yes, she is mega babe.
Oh, I am so sorry. I am Everett Plantain. Are you one of the... Is this one of your brides?
You know of my brides.
I've read all about you.
Very interesting. I did not give you permission to come and greet our guest. Oh, please. It has been so long since I've seen someone so delightful. She's like running her hands all over you, Everett. Her hands are ice cold.
Oh, you are darling and all, but I am not here to be eaten. We are going to strike a deal, and I'm going to get you plenty of juicy meals, even plumper than I am.
You're not going to turn him, are you, my love? Go out of this room before you give me cause to grow angry. She says, forgive me, and just moves very quickly out of the room. Forgive my bride, she is without decorum. Believe me, that will change before we relocate.
It is totally okay. I did not take offense to it. I'm just actually glad that you're not here alone, because that was like kind of bumming me out a little bit. I was thinking maybe I'll even stay here with you, because my life back there isn't even that interesting except for the horses and the books. But
your life is not interesting.
Well, no, not really. I mean, I love horses, and seeing them all freak out on alfalfa is pretty entertaining. And I read my romance novels, but I pretty much do the same thing every day. And
when I return with you to your world, your life will be anything but boring.
Oh. Well, so let's talk more about what we're going to be doing. I mean, how are we going to get... What do I got to do?
In exchange for your service, in exchange for your assistance, I will forge a connection between us.
Oh.
I will enter your mind. You can resist me if you wish, but if you do so willingly, the connection will be strong and lasting.
So, am I still going to be myself, or...
Of course you will be yourself, but you will hear me. You will serve me.
What happens to my free will? What if I decide one day I don't want 2 burnt turnips and a thing of bread? Could I maybe get a milkshake and, a thing of fries and dip the fries in the milkshake, which I love doing? Is that going to change that?
You may consume whatever you wish, provided you also consume life.
Can you tell me more about that part?
Living things, Mr. Plantain. You will consume living things. Does not have to be large, does not have to be often, but you must.
Well,
bugs, mice.
Oysters? Oysters are still alive.
If oysters are still alive, then yes.
Oh, okay. I like oysters. I can live off oysters.
You can have...
Do I have to eat people? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No people. That is my job.
Okay. I think, in other cultures too, they eat a live octopus or something. Octopus are really intelligent, though. I'd rather not eat one. I'd like to see with oysters, because I don't really think they feel anything. They don't even know what's going on.
People speak the way you speak where you are from, Mr. Plantain?
No. Well, no. I'm very open, so I kind of think out loud.
Forgive me. I mean the cadence of your voice. Your intonation, your accent. Is this the main... Do people sound like me when they speak English? Do they use this accent?
I would say yes. Like the dean of the college, he kind of sounds like that. The professors and stuff. Everybody has a different accent. It's kind of weird. It's like you'd think everybody that lives in a certain place is going to sound the same, but it's almost like they come with whatever sounds good to them and whatever they can do. Because not everybody can nail an accent. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
It is very difficult to speak precisely, especially when the tongue is strange upon your lips.
Here's what I do recommend. Eye contact is really important, so don't make too much eye contact, but don't make too little eye contact either. So, look at somebody for about 3-4 seconds, maybe look away, laugh, and then look back at them.
I do not need your advice on eye contact.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Let me give you a demonstration. He sort of glides kind of 4 or 5 feet to you, Everett. And suddenly he's right in your face and he is staring into your eyes. And it is strange. It almost seems like the light is just only on his eyes and everything else falls away into shadow. And you can hear him saying both aloud and echoing in your brain, "Open your mind to me."
Okay.
Are you going to open your mind to him?
Oh, absolutely.
Understood. So he sort of he sort of begins this hypnotic, and he's almost like you don't really even see his hand, but his hand is kind of going as he gazes into your eyes with these just like huge like Lugosi style, you know. And he is saying, and he sort of slips perhaps in how he's speaking now. You are my familiar now. You are my servant. You will help me in all that I require, and in response, you will have the glory of knowing that you have assisted Count Dracula. You are mine now, Everett Plantain.
Can Everett respond, or is he just...
Sure, you may respond.
I solemnly swear that I will assist you, Count. Can you say how you say it again? Dracula?
He sort of pauses. Where you are from, people say Dracula?
Pretty much.
Then I shall be Count Dracula.
Oh, because of me? Okay. It's a deal then.
Yes. A deal. Freely entered.
Freely entered.
He sort of turns back, kind of like looks over your shoulder for a moment. I told you all to stay out. Everett, you sort of, if you look back, you now see there are 3 brides. One of them is sort of like standing there. The other one is like on the wall. The last one is like crawling upside down on the ceiling.
Oh. There's 3. Hi. I'm in the family now. Everett Plantain, familiar. And you are?
You have made him familiar. The one like upside down. He is a familiar, but we have no need for such thing here. I warn all of you. Do not question my plans. Suffice to say, soon we will be venturing elsewhere with Mr. Plantain.
At your service.
At our service. No. At my service.
Yes, I am sorry. I didn't mean to think that I was at their service, because I know I'm your familiar.
Yes. They are merely women. But...
Okay.
Based on what you have said, Mr. Plantain, have you all eaten, my wives? They say, yes, we have consumed. We have gone through 2 just between the 3 of us. Good. Your fangs will not puncture Mr. Plantain. At least, not without his asking. But otherwise, if our appetites of one kind are sated, then we can indulge others. He sort of stands and he like throws his cloak off. The brides kind of move around. There's all sorts of like arms and hands, kind of everyone's pulling together.
Everett just starts taking his shirt off.
There you go. All right. So a 5-way commences. Guys, where are we, Voluptua? Am I right? As Everett and the 3 brides of Dracula, but I would imagine this is mainly an Everett Dracula situation, where there's like 3 girls like kind of trying to be like, I'm part of this too, right now, okay, you know, as you guys just like on the dining table. Everett, I will say there's, as this scene happens, as Everett just has this, like, intense sex scene with Dracula and his 3 brides, you do notice at one point, while whatever's happening, that, like, you guys are all, like, flying. Like, they're all, like, floating in the air, and you're just kind of being held up, you know, by whatever legs are wrapped around yours, or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. It's a very, and sort of the candlelight is sort of burning.
This is dream come true for Everett. This is great.
The camera sort of tilts down from that to the table where the copy of Swamps of Desire is resting. That cover with that picture of Giobvo, or Jizz, as Everett calls it. And some strange wind sort of blows, flipping the book open to one of the more intense scenes between Giobvo and Mashlorglorb. There is an intense sort of sexual charge in the room. Everett, I want you to make a detect vibe roll. Detect the vibe in here.
Nothing.
All you know is pleasure. Are you letting them bite you a little bit?
Yeah.
Then Everett, you're like, they're taking a little blood, but it's mainly what they're doing is they'll pierce something, you know, like that won't be visible, and then they just like lap it up. It's like, it's real, like it's real crazy. I think we're going to go a little bit longer, if that's okay. Not much longer, but a beat longer. You awaken, Everett. Several hours later, alone on the table. You're covered in like a bearskin rug, but there's no one else in the room.
Oh my god, that was fucking insane. Oh my, did I just bang a bunch of vampires and floated in this? Oh my god, that was insane. Oh my god, I gotta write a book about this. I can write a book about this. Oh my god. He looks over to see if there's any turnips left or bread to just eat them real quick.
Make a luck roll.
3.
The turnips are gone. You after what you guys did with the bread, you might not want to eat it. I mean, you can eat it. You're fine.
He looks at. He's like, ugh, never mind.
That's. The vampires are all gone. Although I think that you do hear. Make a listen roll, actually.
Nothing.
Poor Everett. Everett's so good at so many things, but just none of them ever come up. Make a luck roll then. I'll give you one last shot. And have a 13. Come on. Is it 13?
Yeah, baby.
All right. First of all.
Maybe it is.
Oh boy. Oh god. Wouldn't it be rough if Everett just dies of shenanigans? All right. So first of all, we're at 8. Bada bing, bada boom. Second of all, please roll your D13 again. Let's see if there is a horror surge.
It's a 12.
A 12? Wow. That is, that's close, man.
Yeah, baby.
With a 13. Ooh, okay, here's, because 13 is sort of like bad luck or dark luck in a different way. Everett, you're laying there, and you sort of can't hear anything, but then there's this, like, this cold wind just, like, rips through this room across you, like it chills you. Sort of eerie, old castles are sort of drafty, but it kind of like you hear like a muffled sort of like shaking or rattling down one of the hallways leading off from this room, and perhaps some door just slightly opened, and you hear Dracula speaking.
He leans in to listen carefully to what he's...
With the listen roll you already did, you can't really hear it from here. You could try to sneak and overhear something if you wanted to.
Yeah, he'd like to sneak, and if he... Yeah.
And you could spend some, if you'd like, you could spend some power to try to up that as well.
What is my sneak?
Oh, also, I'm so sorry, Everett. Give yourself... Let's see. How long did you... You guys probably banged for like...
Hours.
Go up to 13. You're full. Between that and sleeping afterwards, you're at 13.
Yeah. Woo! All right, so... Sneak, can I... Okay, so... What's the...
You spend 2 power to give yourself 1 extra die. So, like, if you wanted to have 4 on that...
I'll do 4, so I'll do 4.
Cool, so you're back at 9. Yeah, great.
Please. Oh, I got a pair of 1s.
Pair of 1s. Ooh, mechanics and order and such as that. I will say that if you're... Yeah, you're just being very, like very carefully walking. Are you holding a blanket around yourself, or are you just walking naked? Yeah, you're doing the classic... As this sort of strange, cold wind has just blown through here. You reach a hallway, and you can see that at the end of the hall there is some kind of study or something, the door to which is slightly ajar. You hear Dracula saying, "But if this is the case, surely you do not intend to keep me here if I am, as you have said, an influence. Is it not time that I exert greater influence on this realm of yours?" You hear nothing in response. And yet it really feels like Dracula is in a conversation. I'll say that with your secondary success, you can creep a little further, but you can't quite see into the room. You'd have to do another sneak roll to kind of look, or a look roll. You have to make another roll to see if you could peer into the room.
I'll do another look roll.
Another look roll? Okay. Yeah, make a look roll.
And I'm not going to use any power.
I understand.
No. 3, 4, 5.
Kind of gander in, but you just can't quite see who he's talking to. But he says something. "I will not be one of your dreadlords. Not here. I have an understanding of what it is you're up to. I will go back with this one, and then a new phase can begin. But you understand I am your partner in this, not your plaything. Do you agree to my terms?" Your little smirk is not enough to fool me. I know you intend to betray me, which is precisely why I shall be a partner to you. The dark powers you possess, these will be mine. For now, we must begin. Give me the means of escape of this place. Everett, you once again hear nothing. Very well. hear like the rustling of cloth. You hear footsteps moving towards the door.
Everett, Dracula? I heard you talking.
Oh, Dracula appears in the door. He's holding a small porcelain doll with red hair, wearing a purple dress. Mr. Plantain, forgive me. I was practicing my elocution.
Oh, you did really good, I will say. Like, really good.
You are my servant, Mr. Plantain. Your approval is no longer relevant.
Oh. Okay. What should I do now?
Get dressed.
I've never... Okay.
We are going to be returning to your school post-haste.
All right, well, I will go get my shit kickers on and we will head out to Darkmoor.
Wonderful. I must return a collectible from my castle. Moments. Please forgive me. He sort of walks.
Everett wanted to just kind of look down at it real quick.
At the doll?
Yeah, just
make a look roll.
See what he was doing. Pair ones.
You look at the doll. The doll looks up at you. And there's this moment as you look at it where you feel like the doll, just this inanimate little doll, you feel like she's smiling at you. But it's not a nice smile. It's the smile of the cat who's about to eat the mouse. Dracula heads out one of the doors. After a few moments, you can, you can go back and get dressed if you want. You see the brides are sort of, they're there as well. They're sort of like, they're still just in their like tattered nightgowns. One of them, her mouth is just like covered in blood. She seems to have just like gorged herself. But they say, is it true we are about to leave the castle?
Well, I mean, that was kind of the plan. I don't know,
We can have so much fun together out of the castle. I liked that one thing you did with your thumb.
Oh, you did? I've been practicing. I've actually never used it in person.
Oh.
But thank you. I've been thinking about what it might be like. Thank you.
You should try it again. Yes, you have two thumbs after all. You can multitask.
Anytime.
A few moments later, Dracula appears in the hall and says, "Very well. It is time to go."
Yes, sir.
Are you prepared, Mr. Plantain?
Yeah, got a game plan? How do you want me to introduce you, Dracula and all that? Like,
what do you believe will be the most... Will it be more disruptive to call me Dracula? Or will it be better to call me something else? I am known to people there. I have a reputation. Is this to our advantage? Advantage. Oh, forgive me. I must become accustomed to speaking in the English way.
doing great, boss. I would say, well, here's what I'm thinking.
Please.
These crazy professors are trying to get us to read these books, have people come out and try to use their power and all that. I could just say I read a Dracula book and you came out and, you know, you're here and they can use your power and all that stuff. And I mean, it kind of fits. I just said I found another book.
Yes. This is brilliant, Mr. Plantain. But they will be expecting me to speak more in my typical voice.
I mean, you can kind of sound however you want. It's really about the author, how they kind of made your accent. But like,
I will speak like this. I will call myself Dracula.
Perfect.
I will. Yes, I will. What is the? How do I have a beard? Should I wear these clothing? Or should I do something different? How should I style my hair?
Oh, so okay. Oh, I've been wanting to do this for so long.
Yes.
So oh my God, you're gonna be so slick and debonair. Your hair's gonna be slicked right back. Your widow's peak is gonna be sharp as the sharpest knife. Yeah, it's like the point right in the front of your head. If you don't have one,
do as he says. Style me in this way. Make me the image in their minds.
Okay, here we go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to give you like a real nice tapered suit with some ruffles right here on the front and a little pendant. It's going to be kind of like a little star type thing with a red thing in the middle, gold. You want gold on the outside.
A medallion.
Yeah, and then you're going to have like a cape like goes up right here. But, you know, I was thinking to make it even more hot is we could get you some cool sunglasses that you could put on, maybe red ones, and like a little top hat or something. And you could kind of cruise around and say you're Dracula, and you're the hot Dracula though from, you know, one of them books that I read.
I see. I see. When we arrive, I will not reveal myself immediately. I wish to read these books about me so that I can select the depiction that I want to be seen as. Do you understand?
Oh, absolutely.
But when the time is right, you will claim that you have summoned me, and they will believe I am a mere summoned character with all of the strengths that they possess, which I will possess. I will have mastery of these mists. It has been granted to me. But I will have none of the weaknesses. I will not have what the other characters have. I will not have the fail-safes. They will think they can control me. This professor will think me his pawn. He will think me safe, docile, and he will be so frightened when he realizes how wrong he is. So now, like Bela Lugosi Dracula standing before you, kind of like classic Dracula cackles, and says, "Now we go, Everett. My servant, I know the way for you to get home, and me with you." The brides say, "Yes, we are so ready to..." "Not you. You will stay here." "What? But no, master, please, we must go." Yeah, he sort of shouts at them in this just and like you see cruelty from him just radiating off of him, Everett. This is a mean dude. The wives sort of shrink away, though they're kind of crying because they want to escape so bad. He puts an arm around her shoulder and says, "Do not forget your books."
Oh, and he grabs his books. Thank you.
My servant, this is going to be a great success. And with that, Everett, as you and the good Count Dracula leave the castle, wherever the hell you are, that is where we will bring chapter 102 to a close. Was that what you were expecting for tonight?
That was amazing.
Is that what
that was amazing?
Is that what everybody was thinking was going to happen tonight, right? Was that on your... That was kind of the expectations? Yeah.
I had no idea what was going to happen. I was actually nervous about doing a solo session because I was like, I don't know if you can just keep up the whole time. But again, this guy right here, this guy. Wait, am I pointing the right direction?
Other way. If you're are you pointing at me or are you pointing at the bus beside you?
I'm pointing at you.
Okay, at you. You're actually also pointing at a bus beside you. But thank you. Well, I mean, I mean, come on, Everett makes great choices, so it's always fun. I will say, because I basically prepped two things for today, and had you gone the other way, you would have found something very different. Had you moved away from the sound, there would have been a different thing. So, yes, everyone. Well, that was an interesting one. Everett met someone who seems to be a very different, sort of different vibe. And we had a Voluptuan style orgy, and we're not even in Voluptua.
That was amazing. That was.
Oh my god.
That was Everett's dream.
That was delightful. Thank you so much. Yeah, and huge props. I will say these are very disorienting to the players to do these sort of solo sessions where it's like, oh my gosh, can I hand this off to anybody? So great work. Everett is a super fun character. I'm glad that he survived, and I'm glad that he is now under the thrall of one of the big ones, one of the all-time greats.
I love that, just how that all played out. It just worked perfectly. Yeah. And I didn't know if it was a little I figured, Dracula would have been a pretty well. I remember you saying before that Dracula was kind of if it was kind of common knowledge.
It's kind of prepared to go either way with that. Yeah. So no, that was really fun. Well, great. Okay, so that explains where Everett was, what and whom and which Everett fucked, and where things will be when Everett returns next week. So when we'll be back next week with everyone. Let's see.
We have thank yous.
Let's do the thank yous. Let's do the thank yous first. Why wait on the thank yous, please?
We had the Jungle Evil subscribed for a month at tier 1. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Book and Dagger cheered 100 bits. The Rose Explodes, whoever that is, cheered 100 bits.
She sounds, she sounds very pretty and talented.
She's so pretty and talented, I bet. Mm-hmm. She cheered 19 bits. Is that a lot of bits? Lauren, is that a lot of bits?
I think that's a lot of bits, but anyone cheering any bits is very kind.
Yeah, but 100 bits. Oh, she did 109. So there was a hype train. Galenorian Saber.
There's a hype train?
There was a hype train. Galenorian Saber gifted. Oh, so Liv got the gift. Hey, lucky winner. And then Lauren cheered more bits. Book and Dagger cheered more bits. Lauren gave a community sub gift. Hype Train level 1 achieved, and a Hype Train completed level 2 as well. I don't know what any of it means, but it sounds so awesome.
That's so nice. Wow, I was unaware of hype trains.
They were hyping. The train was going.
That's awesome.
So, all right, there it is. There you have it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. And we have a first-time chatter too.
Oh.
Just now.
Oh. WinMax07.
Hello, welcome WinMax07. Thank you so much for watching.
And thank you all in the chat for the support. It was very, very fun.
Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed it. This was a little longer than I was expecting it to go. We could have just ended with the orgy, but I was like, you gotta see that last thing. This was super fun. Please go to our Discord, where you can interact with stuff, and we post recaps of all these things. You can get sort of kind of caught up on that, but we also now have a wiki that Sophia is putting together. So also go to our wiki. Here, let me do that. I know how to do things in chat. Hold on. There we go. So we got our wiki. We also have this stuff goes up on YouTube. Typically, Blood from a Stone, I haven't quite determined the upload thing. It's kind of like I typically do the whole week on Friday, just so they might have changed the rule on Twitch where you actually can just upload immediately to YouTube, but I haven't figured that out yet. So right now I'm just kind of having everything for the past week go up on Friday, because that's typically nothing else will be like interacting with that because we don't play on Thursday. So so you can see the games on YouTube as well if you'd rather watch there, or just watch on our old things here on Twitch. We have some other games on. This coming Sunday, we have a Mystic Starport. Mystic Starport looks a little different on account of what happened on the Tuesday game where they drained all the color from them. So yeah, go to that, and it's pretty fun. So that'll be this Sunday. We unfortunately, because of sort of holiday week and such, we are not going to have a Third Time's the Charm this coming Monday. We're just taking that off because we had a lot of conflicts and people needing to get ready for barbecues. So no game on Monday. Sadly, this week, you'll have to wait for the sitcom shenanigans. But on Wednesday, we have another issue of Formation Nation. So if you didn't, I know you probably didn't get your fill of The Rose Explodes tonight, but you'll have plenty more for this coming Wednesday. Going to be super fun. And then a week from tonight, we will be back with hopefully the whole cast of Blood from a Stone. I think Lauren and Liv are still out there, so thank you so much for sticking around. I will plug The Rose Explodes on Thursdays usually. The Rose Explodes. Follow her here on Twitch. She sometimes streams games that make her scared.
She does. And I am usually outside playing with my trees. Oh, there's a request to dab. Anyway, I don't know why, but I'm doing it.
Do it. I would not know what that means. There you go.
It's like a dance. It's a dance move. So
I only know the Charleston. I only know the cha-cha, the Charleston.
That's it. That's all I know. I guess for plugging, I'll plug, if you all like small trees, I do bonsai education and fun stuff. If you follow Zane's Trees on Instagram and TikTok. And I also made a YouTube that I have like one video up that I posted like 3 months ago. That's awesome. I don't make.
So you do bonsai education?
I do.
Are they generally receptive to it? Like
Yeah, they don't sit in their desks very much. They're always like jumping around, chewing gum.
I really like the idea of a bunch of bonsai trees like throwing spit wads at each other.
Yeah, it's really, and every time there's a substitute, they like give them a really, really hard time. So I have to come back and be like, put everybody's name on the board. It's really ridiculous.
Just stand and deliver with bonsai trees. Well, on that note, thank you all so much for watching. This was super fun. I am glad to have brought in something that I have actually been planning for a little while. Wasn't quite sure where it was going to happen, and thought this might be a good opportunity, and it was. So fun stuff. So thank you so much. We will see you guys next time. Until then, have a dreadful night.